E te iwi nau mai, hoki mai, ki Pakanini, Bruce Pulman Park. Tērā tuarua o te whakataitai pāwhutu paoro o ngā rangatahi. We are back with Game 3, te Tai Tokerau, under-16 mixed, taking on Wellington, under-16 mixed. A mixture of results both ways for both teams, but it's going to be a great fixture.
Yeah, only 2 games yesterday, where te Tai Tokerau had a win and a draw. And for Wellington, they had a win and a loss. They've had a 3rd game since, giving the shark a hongi. Oh no, now a kihi. Or maybe it's the person in the shark. Yeah, anyway, te Tai Tokerau having back-to-back teams representing their region here on our broadcast on the finals field, day 2, game 3. Referees Roger Neighbours, Luca Morrissey, Tisha Tukirangi. I'm still sort of coming off the energy of that last game. I've never seen anything like that Counties Manukau team. I think not only at a youth nationals, but at secondary school nationals. And it wasn't even the under-18s, it was the under-16s.
Yes, I think the last time I saw a youth team being able to compete at such a high level was probably when Calvin Harris-Davita's older brother, Chanel Harris-Davita, was running around with the counties 18 mixed down in Christchurch. It was probably the last time I recall. However, we had Te Tai Tokerau 16 boys really front up for that game, and I'm really hoping that they can pass on a little bit of the ihi, the wehi and the wana to this under-16 Te Tai Tokerau mixed team, which is actually their first time back in the mixed grade for 2025 for a wee while, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what else they can put out there today.
Yeah, it's cool hearing those statistics, Sean, around teams who haven't been out in the wilderness for a little while, but now they've got the numbers, they've got the coaching in place, the management structures, and they're here. Fantastic to see them here, and it's fantastic we can support them being here by putting them on this broadcast in our broadcasted games. This is the 3rd one. I look at the results. I don't really have any dollar each way as to which team I think are going to be the more likely. So interested to see how this one starts. Like I said, coming off the pace, the intensity of that last one, be very, very interesting to see where this game gets to. You see down there our Homegrown Heroes barcode. Have your phone ready. We're going to pop it up at least once a half every game. Take a picture of that, click into it and nominate your homegrown hero back in your regions. That don't look like a homegrown hero. That looks like the Queen of North Harbour being carried around the outside of the field. That you'd be able to relate to that experience. You get carried around on the top of people's shoulders, don't you, in your throne or chariot?
I'm also carried around on the back of a few of the players in my team. A little bit of a passenger, but hey, it takes us to victory. As we see on your screen going from right to left, Te Tai Tokerau in the sky blue, Wellington, the black and yellow going left to right. So awesome to see a few teams coming from the Wellington province. They've got a great up-and-coming program down in Wellington Touch. They've got some great modules down there, and it's just awesome to see how competitive they are across all the grades. So we see Te Tai Tokerau having their first strike at the line. They have a play set up for touch 3. They're happy to take touch 4. With 2 touches to get, I'm sure they'll go to look for their boys. Oh, my mistake, touch 5, hand over there.
How's it for a player like yourself? We've just seen the boys' game. We've seen the style of game that it has, and there are styles within the grades. You're in a men's team more often than not when you play, but then internationally you play in the mixed. You're currently in the squad for the New Zealand Open mixed team. How is it changing from those styles? Is your role really similar no matter what sort of grade you're in, or no, there is quite a difference in terms of what's required of you?
I think there is quite a difference. It's around the knowledge of the game. In the men's grade, it's no faster than the mixed grade. There's just slightly different tactics. The mixed grade, you have to sort of learn how to utilise the strength of your wahine, as we see them bolting down the sideline there. if you don't look to use your wahine as much as you should, that makes the difference between a strong and a not so strong mixed side. As we see the Tai Tokerau boys looking to try get out of their half, they use their wahine, as we say, come into the close side here. And yes, it definitely does just come down to the tactics at the end of the day. It has a huge reflection on the successes of mixed sides.
Wellington defence doing a good job trying to hold Tai Tokerau in their half. It's getting on the outside of the link, getting through to the back. We see Eli. There's a ball down. No, it's a touch. Great touch there from the Wellington covering middle. It was Eli Saxon-Frank getting into that background.
Yeah, and Zara Baker with a great covering touch there. She did enough just to find her opposite, get a touch on the back there of the Tai Tokerau link boy, and has stopped the first touchdown. We've got a little bit of back and forward here. It's going to be an interesting result, I think. I'm not sure which way I'm going to fall yet.
Oh, you're like every other commentator. Wait till the last minute before they tell me the team they think that's going to win. Must be something with that chair. Wellington, though, good opportunity, getting that piggyback penalty up the field.
Tai Tokerau look to match them on a strong defence. Unforced error there from Wellington. It's a little bit unlucky. They were going to potentially get what I thought might be their first line attack, so we could see what sort of skills that this side does have.
Here he is again, Eli. The number 3 from Tai Tokerau. Promising player to watch out for during this broadcast. What are the 3 boys up to? Reid Tahere.
Unlucky not to find their hands there. I thought there was a little bit of an interesting crossover there. I'm not quite sure what the play call was, but they were able to find a little bit of a hole there. Not quite able to turn it into points. But I look over our screen here and I look down into the Tai Tokerau box and I see the coach, Alan Teepene. He's strutting up and down, back and forward, throwing positive reinforcement to his players. They're all responding well to him. There's just a great feel in the Tai Tokerau box. They all look excited and just super happy to be here.
Meaningful touch. Yeah, we can see Penny, the number 4. Just a little bit of a cheeky laugh back to the Tai Tokerau defender. Gave her a bit of extra help. Seen how good her hurdling skills were. She had to hurdle over the touch signage there.
Yes, I must say sometimes I notice when the wingers are sitting out on that wing for a little bit of time, they do get to know each other a little bit and they have a little bit of friendly competition between themselves. So I'm sure that was a 1-0 to them.
Really strong drive there from the Tai Tokerau player. Nearly set up their first touchdown. Gave the dummy half great platform to scoop from. Wellington were able to scramble and shut that one down. Just noticing a lot on the start of the sets. The defenders are really having a really big impact on the roll ball, almost standing up the attacking player, so that not struggling to create momentum on the start of the sets.
Yeah, one thing we're yet to see in this game is the one-off passes around the single flying defender that we have seen in this game so far. I think the first team that starts to unlock that little micro skill might be the one that ends up getting the treats at the end, as we see here, going down that sideline.
I'm not sure we'll get the replay, but I'm not forward pass. I thought that's what he was calling. I can't say. Let's see how bad the eyesight is. It was just prior to that, unfortunately, the pass before it. However, we play on, and Tai Tokerau definitely are doing so. Good work there, just being able to keep the ball in hand.
Yeah, a niggly call, not quite going the way of Wellington there. They force the error. They're able to get a turnover just on their side of the 10-metre line, which should give the subset of boys and their strong link wahine girl coming on a little bit of freedom.
Oh!
A little bit of meaning in that one, I think.
Yeah, is that still a meaningful touch? Sure.
I think that one was just saying kia ora to the whanaunga on the other side of the field, and they'll go their separate ways and carry on.
You think you've seen it all, and then you get to see that. Oh, great footwork there.
And those
Wellington.
are just the extra yards we were talking about probably just about a minute ago. Wellington looking to get a little bit deeper into behind the Tai Tokerau defensive line. See the boys look like they're trying to muster up something here.
Logan there goes back door. Does he get it back? No, he's just a decoy. That option was definitely on there. Long ball out to the winger, TJ Durham. Couldn't quite execute, but I'm sure they've seen that opportunity, and no doubt they'll come back to that strong touch there. Alex Lister, the 19 for Wellington. Followed up there by, again, another strong touch. Ivy, the 18. And here's Tai Tokerau looking like they're getting into a bit of a flow here.
Yeah, the referee's really opening up these 7s here. You saw on touch 3 and 4, they almost look like 10s and 12s, but that's the treatment you do get when you come to the youth nationals. There's no shortcutting it. There's 3 very high-level referees on the ground at one time, 6 sets of eyes. It's no easy feat to get past them, that's for sure.
How do you find that at the Opens? Well, I guess it's a little bit different for the Open Men's. They tend to get the higher-ranked referees all throughout the tournament, but I know for a lot of time, particularly in coaching, in the female secondary school grades, the referee you got in day 1 and day 2 was quite different to if you happen to get to the final, quite different to the referee in the final. Do you notice any difference, or no, it's pretty standard?
I mean, we're very fortunate in the Open Men's grade that we do receive 9 times out of the 10 the best of the best. We might get an up-and-comer that will come and help out 2 other very high-level referees. But it's just like in the game of touch itself, as players, we're not always going to be the best players that they get to referee. So we just have to be adaptable to the referees that we do receive, and they're only learning as much as we're only learning. And, yeah, you just got to make the most of what you get given.
There's definitely some people who are a lot more adaptable than others in the Open Men's grade. Not many, but some.
But as you say, we're very lucky here in Aotearoa to have some of the best referees going around. You only have to go back to the YouTube of the World Cup and in the UK to see our referees on the world stage. But I'll come back to the game where we see Wellington crossing over for the first try of the game. They go for a quickie on the short side. Tai Tokerau, link gill, just a little bit too tight. Slam dunk finish for Penny from Wellington. The number 3, sorry, my mistake, Tyler Campbell from Wellington with the first try of the game.
It's an interesting comment you made earlier in the conversation that we had prior to the broadcast starting when we talked about things like the post-try celebrations and the slam dunks and some stuff like that. And you just spoke about it. It's more about the age of the person doing it, and you tend to find that there is none of that up in the Opens level. And it's not because all the players in there never did it. It's just that maturing as you come up through the ranks and you understand the impact of those things and where your attention needs to be, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no doubt that players at the best of the best were the big celebrators in their time. But that doesn't take away from the fact that you can't get around your teammates and celebrate. But there just doesn't seem to be any time at the Open level to be doing the big slam dunks and the big celebrations, as we see Tai Tokerau finishing in style there with a great try.
Te Rongo Pōre, take your hat off to her. We see her get herself involved, comes in, makes the defender chase her down to this left side, creating space back on the right. Short ball, perfectly timed, perfectly placed. What a touchdown and what a setup there from Te Rongo Pōre.
And those are just the platforms we love to see in the mixed touch. We have a Wahine right involved in the middle there. There's no point in them sitting on the outsides, because when they can get involved just like that, they are more of a strike threat more often than not than some of our Tāne out there.
I tell you what, the accuracy rate in terms of the outcomes from the Wahine players coming in, I would say significantly higher.
And great to see the Wellington defence there. They are pushing up hard. Some strong touches coming through. Referee going the way of the Wellington defender there.
Yeah, obstruction called. Was that the Tai Tokerau dumping player getting in road of the defence, was it?
I believe so. That was the call from the on-field referee, as we see Wellington maybe with another strike opportunity. 2 the count. They've got 4 touches. I say they get 2 strikes here. They go out to the link with a sweeper coming round. Unlucky there not to find the hands. An unforced error from the Wellington side.
Yeah, Logan, 100 miles an hour going around the back. Just the pass behind him. Tai Tokerau, though, Oh, this is a really good set. Great diving touch. Not sure if it was Cody or not out there on the link for Wellington. It was a great diving touch. No, it wasn't.
I really like this from Tai Tokerau. They've decided to take the subset far side. As a result, the boys have stayed on. They had a high strike rate the last set. They've stayed on. They've got the penalty, and I'm excited to see this one.
Zara Baker it was there. We see her just catching her breath after that fantastic dive. The left-hand link for Wellington. Now she's called into it again. Do you notice sometimes in games, as we sort of have here, where a referee's blowing more penalties than the others, and do you adjust at all to that?
I must say we definitely do experience that, and there is times where we do say comments in the sub box like, oh, don't worry, we'll get him in the next set, or we'll get her in the second half if we've only got 2 referees at a module, for example. And it does creep into the game a little bit, I have noticed, yeah.
Fifth touch here. She's back in the middle again, setting up the second touchdown. I'll tell you what, if I'm the coach of Wellington, every time Te Rongo Pori Tipini gets into the middle of the field, I'm ringing the alarm. We see her here. What a setup.
I must say, I would tell her to take a bow, but I think I'm going to say to the boys that you must bow down to her. She set up the 2 tries for Te Tai Tokerau. Oh, my goodness me.
Single-handedly just comes into the middle. The first 12 minutes of this game, she was nowhere to be seen, and just comes in, 2 attacks, 2 touchdowns. Jump on my back, she says. Carries them across the line. Wellington now, how can they respond? Comes in between the dumper and the dummy half.
We do say we don't like to jump on sides, but I think I'm going to jump on the back of an individual here. As she set up that try, we both threw our hands in the air. It was an awesome setup, but Wellington now on the back of their own yards. They've got a big defensive set here. If they defend this well, they'll get one more line attack, you'd like to think. Hopefully looking to square the game up going into the half.
Got good flow. I wonder what that is. That's an interesting call, that one. There's a pitch you don't normally see. The ball come forward off the Te Tai Tokerau player and went into the Wellington player. If a referee called that uncontrolled from Te Tai Tokerau Wellington ball, what would you have thought?
I would have thought that it would go that way of potentially a knock-on from Te Tai Tokerau. I think Wellington may be a little bit hard done by there. At the end of the day, it's up to the on-field ref's discretion, and we'll just hope that Wellington are able to do enough here to defend the set out. And the call coming from the on-field ref there that the ball wasn't planted square. The Wellington defender just doing enough to make a little bit of an awkward touch. If he got that ball away, he might have been in the ruck there, but he's done well.
That'd be interesting to see what the definition of that is. Obviously, there's sort of 2 rules there. There's that uncontrolled and ball to ground. Now, obviously in rugby, you could knock the ball on without it having to go to ground. It might be something I'd have to check in the break to see if there is that level of detail in the definition of a uncontrolled ball.
And no better person to find out that information and pass it on to me, and I'll keep that one in the back pocket.
I'm sure there's many people wondering, how the heck do you not already know this? You're after a million games, surely you should know the rules. Fake it till you make it, whānau. That's all I say. Don't get caught.
As we see, Te Tai Tokerau happy to take the touch with the first half closing out here at Takanini, this under-16 mixed fixture. Te Tai Tokerau versus Wellington, as we see the number 3 from Te Tai Tokerau takes a stride down the right-hand flank. 2-1 the score, Te Tai Tokerau on top, Wellington not too far behind. We'll be back after the break.
For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Nominate the unsung heroes in your touch community that go above and beyond. They could win $5,000 to invest into the sport we love. Nominate today.
Kia ora touch whānau. Welcome to Quick Hit, your short, sharp and touch relevant warm-up, with the aim of warming up and moving those important body parts before kicking into activity. The Quick Hit warm-up requires minimal space, minimal time, and allows for innovation.
For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Nominate the unsung heroes in your touch community that go above and beyond. They could win $5,000 to invest into the sport we love. Nominate today.
Nau mai hoki mai e te whānau tēnei māua te tokorua nei. E noho ana i roto i tēnei rūma tāhua. E titiro ana ki ngā whira katoa, ngā rangatahi katoa, ngā whānau katoa, he rangi tino a tāhua. Kua tai mai a tamanui te rā. We are very lucky here in Takanini to have such a beautiful day for all our whānau, friends and family, and all of the rangatahi out here playing such a beautiful game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure many of the whānau, if you're like me, in the halftime break you get a drink of water and a snack, an apple or celery stick like I do. But actually, if you watch that Homegrown Heroes sort of advert in there, it really goes to show the significance of the tohu, the acknowledgement itself, and that the heroes, we're terming them heroes because of the selflessness and what they do, and in fact they don't want to be acknowledged for it. But it's not just about the 5K that they get, it's around the acknowledgement, as we see many of them in those examples, tears that come to their eyes because the people that they do it for, we're just acknowledging them. So whānau, it's not just about the 5K, and it's not thinking there's only 5 awards, which actually I think is incredible, but it's actually just letting them know that they are seen and that you do know it there. So get on board, get your phone out, get on that link and nominate all of your homegrown heroes.
Yeah, and as you say, there's a lot of heroes out there. They come in the form of coaches, they come in the form of the managers, the parents, and I know the people at home are thinking of someone right now. Oh, I can remember the time that they did all of the washing all weekend long, and they set up all the fundraising. There's so many heroes out there. More often than not, they're the unspoken ones too.
I reckon the unspoken ones really are the heroes. Plenty of other people get their chocolates for what they do, but Wellington now have had that halftime chat. Got to move up their sleeve. Logan with the ball. He's got super amount of speed and his footwork. I'm not sure he knows where he's going sometimes. He's so bouncy.
Te Tai Tokerau have done well to match up for numbers there.
I like that drawn pass there from, the number 17, I think it is, Zara Baker. She had made that excellent diving touch in that first half, and just that drawn pass a little bit late, but good skills there from Zara Baker. Done a ton of work in that first half.
Yeah, she's been an integral part of this Wellington side, and it just goes to show the importance, as we've spoken about probably almost every tournament, is how important it is to have such strong wahine in your side as a mixed team.
Seeing Ivy there, 18, really lift up on that second touch too. Shutting things down are Wellington. Can they keep it shut down? Eli Saxon-Frank gets through. Can he link up? Looking for someone. He does. Great support play. Excellent decision from the ref. The touch was made but late. We see Cameron Pucky, the Tai Tokerau winger. Eli Saxon-Frank gets through here. Uses the speed to get out on the outside of both defenders. And just patience here, Sean, in the touchdown zone. Not panicking. And excellent support there.
Often as a strike player, you come through the middle like that and you sort of try to go between the two defenders, whether it's the middle or the middle link. But when you've got speed like he does, he gets outside the middle, the other middle, and then the other link. And then to reward himself, he gets a little break in the end goal before he finds his winger. And gosh, I wish I had wheels like that.
He started the first half in that fashion, getting through, didn't link up then, but the second half he has. Wellington had obviously seen the formula, get your girl link in the middle. They've seen it from Tai Tokerau. Again, the pass just a little bit late. Promising, though, attack from Wellington there.
Yeah, it was just great patience in the middle there from our link girl. That was number 13 for Wellington, Taihana Baker. Just great control, way to slow the ball up, get the defenders out. When you hold the ball up for that long, the defenders have to come off the line. They don't have a choice or else they will get penalised. So they've done really well there. Unlucky not to convert, but I'm sure they'll look to that same platform again.
Ivy Bascan, the 18 for Wellington. She's done a great job down this side. I didn't take too much notice in the first half, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's played the whole game so far, as so many link wingers do on the opposite side of where their sub-box is.
It is seriously impressive. You see these wingers in the mixed and the boys in the Wahine grades, they just sit out on that far side wing and they just do the most incredible amount of work, and they stay there more often than not for the whole game to give the close side link girl in the wing a lot of time to just come to and from and get some fresh legs every now and then.
And here she is here with the ball. But the thing that impresses me with Ivy is a lot of times you see that person and their, I wouldn't say their effort is low, but they don't lift and go and chase down the attacker, whereas as we'll watch her here, as someone comes down, she tends to really get up off on the line, really tries to time things well so she can shut down any momentum that Tai Tokerau make.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's off the back of her trying to score a try or if the ball ends up on the far side of the line. As you say, she's done really well there to just have a huge output of effort, and as she's lucky to receive a little bit of a break now, I'm sure they're going to come hot down that attack line again. We see that man, number 3, Saxon Frank, quick out of half. Wellington IDs it well, identify that he's going to go straight through the middle, and they defend him well.
Nice start, good momentum. We just see that simply by Tyler Campbell being able to run onto that forward pass, is it? Off the mark. For those wondering what that means, where you get touched is where you have to roll the ball. You pretty much allowed that one step forward, but it seems like there might have been 2 in that case.
Be interesting to see what the boys look to conjure up here. We've got Saxon Franken at half with his counterpart.
Here's Te Rongo Pody. She's saying, give me the ball, boys. Give me the ball. Oh, that'll be a forward pass, maybe. Looking to the sideline. I'm telling you, lads, give it to Te Rongo Pody. Let's see if she comes around on a wraparound.
Yeah, she leads with that great direction, and in a mixed team, there's nothing better. We see her coming on the sweep here. Saxon Frank gives her the ball willingly. The follow play back in. Oh, stop it.
Oh, she's running off, telling him, told you, give me the ball. What are you up to? I could have scored that 2 tries earlier. Gets on that. The timing onto the ball from Te Rongo Pody is perfect. She eyes out to the left-hand side, making the defender think she's going out there. She knew where she was going, but put it on a platter.
Yeah, it's often that I'm sure Coach Ellen Tipene would be saying to the boys, this is the move I want you to play. But no, Te Rongo Pai goes out there. She says, give me the ball. She runs the sweep, follow play back inside, almost a little bit of Bruce Kake-esque there. Wow, what a great try from Te Tai Tokerau.
I just love their confidence. In the first touch, she was doing this, like, give me the ball, give me the ball. Oh.
A great showcase this is for our wahine in the game of Pāwhitu Paoro touch rugby here in Aotearoa. It is just great to see the strength that they do have throughout this division. From the under-16s, the 18s, right through to the open mix, our wahine have a great a grasp on this game, and it's just awesome to see.
Getting big slaps on the back in the sub-box. Wellington, though, score their own. Took us through that footwork that made those 2 middles just separate.
Yeah, it's a play we see quite often throughout the open grades here. We split into an open side, and the link comes from, it almost seems like nowhere. It's called a splitter play. Teams look to use it quite a lot. We haven't seen it too much in this fixture today. Wellington executing it almost perfectly. He could have walked over if he wanted to, but a great put down and a well-deserved try there.
She's back on again. We're just expecting it now. Now she's going to go short side. Oh, did she suck a penalty? Oh, she has dominated the second half, but just intentional. She knew what she was doing, not just taking the touch. Sucked another 6 touches out.
She's telling, come here. This is my try. I think she's going for another one here. Great intent.
Oh,
I must apologise before through the excitement.
okay.
Te Rongo Pody, there's my correction there. Te Rongo Pody, Tipene, there must be a relation to the coach, Alan Tipene. Wow, what a great family we've got going on here as we see that man, Saxon Frank. Great footwork, great defence.
Oh, I just want to see the Te Rongo Pody show. Get it out to this right-hand side. Short ball to the left, short ball to the right. What has she got in store now? Again, goes to run this quickie play. Such is their potency. They're now using her as a decoy. Did you see the amount of Wellington defenders coming across to the short side?
And rightly so. That was well done by Saxon Frank. I think Te Rongo Pōuri probably thought she was going to get the ball back there. He had the great smarts to go back open side. And as you said, it almost seemed as though every single one of Wellington defenders were within that central passage where Te Rongo Pōuri was.
2 touches left for Wellington. I want to create some forward momentum, create a solid platform for the scoop to happen off. See the scoop here now. Went left, didn't like a gap, but because of the pace, if there's anyone who deserves reward for their effort, it's Ivy Baskin, 18.
Te tere hoki o tēnei tama. Unfortunately, I don't think he realised how much time he had heading into the end goal there. He had such a clean set of pace going through. I think he had more time than he thought. Unfortunately, just not able to turn it into points.
Tai Tokerau now. I love it when there's these games within games, right? And Te Rongo Pōuri, she's just added some real flavour to this game.
Well, we talk about experience and attending all of these national tournaments, and it just makes me think where this Tai Tokerau team has been, more importantly, Te Rongo Pōuri. This is their first time back at the Youth Nationals, and it's awesome to see Te Tai Tokerau strong in numbers here across a few of the divisions. This mixed team putting out a great outfit here today in this third game of the broadcasting against this Wellington side in the 16s division. There is 12 teams across the 16s mixed grade. Not a huge amount compared to the boys. We have 18, the girls 15, but it's just going to show the strength that all the provinces do have.
Yep, the expansion, not only of the grades. As we see here, Logan with the ball using his foot speed. He'd be a nightmare to defend. 1 minute he's going left, then right. But yeah, the expansion not only of the grades, but this competition, probably before you were born because you're so young, but this competition didn't exist. I think the first one may have even been somewhere down in Wellington, if I can remember rightly. So to be able to provide another platform, another championship for these rangatahi to be part of is so good, but you just can't do it without sponsors, and the key event sponsors for this one's Bunnings, Warehouse, Trillion Trust, SAS, Essex, Silver Fern, and Whakata Māori are really the reason why we can have this championship here. As you get into the in goal, almost did herself out of a try running towards the ball there. I think she thought she was going to get it earlier, but great touchdown.
Yeah, in the Silver Fern replay here, we see scoot out a dummy half there from Te Tai Tokerau was number 1. Heta, he found space well, and he found number 7, Tate. Very well finished there, but as you say, she almost ran herself out of space here. I think she was a little bit too eager to get the ball down.
5-2, Te Tai Tokerau versus Wellington. Might be 5-3 after this. Oh, did he get it down? See the referee pointing. Not sure if was that for a touch or if that was for a touchdown.
Yeah, number 15 there, Cameron Pucky on the far side. She came out of nowhere and made a critical touch for Te Tai Tokerau. We spoke to the expansion of the game just a second ago, and it just goes to show last year in this youth competition we had 73 teams as a whole competing at the tournament. This year, 76, 3 more teams. And it's just going to show that the game just keeps growing, not only at the open level and at the top end of the game, but also at the grassroots, which is, where we get to find our talent going forward.
100% agree with that. Wellington now with a perfect opportunity to get across and start to put a little bit of pressure, I guess, on Te Tai Tokerau. At the moment, 3 down, 3 minutes remaining. If they can get one here, just boost them, give them that boost they need. Oh, second penalty. This might be the first 3 penalties in a row where one of the defending players, the third penalised player, will be removed to the sideline.
Some great attack there from the Wellington side. A little bit more intent than what we've seen previously. Te Tai Tokerau up to the job on the defence side of things.
Split second timing on that one. Coming onto the ball at 1,000 miles an hour. Nice strong touch there. Te Tai Tokerau. Oh, was that put down? Thought we might have seen the first no try slam dunk, but no, it wasn't. Bunnings Warehouse replay, just getting on the outside was the number 3 from Wellington. Tyler Campbell had a solid first half. Talked about him a number of times. Looked to set up the winger, but seen the gap for himself. Called it there, Sean. 3-5 now, 2 minutes, 2 touchdowns behind.
Yeah, a closer game than what I was expecting when Te Rongo Pauri started kicking out there by herself. It was a very impressive display of some skill there. Wellington matching the skill and coming back to it, making it a 2-point deficit with just over a minute remaining. Will there be enough time? Will Te Tai Tokerau have a little bit of gamesmanship here and slow the clock down? I'm not too sure, but when I look back at the previous winners of this tournament, when I look back to 2015, 2014, I see Te Tai Tokerau. When I look to 2017, I see Wellington. Both teams previous champions within the last decade. Te Tai Tokerau wasn't here last year or the year before, but they've won this grade twice back-to-back in 2015, 2014. So with a win and a draw on day one, potentially now, I'd say another win here. It'll be interesting to see how much further they can take this.
Great insight there, Sean. It does show sort of, I guess, the fickle nature of the smaller provinces. And when I say provinces, smaller touch provinces, not populations of people there, where you get that cohort, that 2 or 3 key individuals that can really carry and lead a team. You can go on and win a national championship, and what a boost to that region it would have been that year.
Too right, and it only filters through into the older grades and the development of those provinces. And as you say, yes, Wellington, population-wise, is a big city. Unfortunately, touch isn't as well developed as it might be in places like the Aucklands and the Bay of Plenties. But teams like what we see out here today are only going to help develop the game, grow the game, and you'll see the fruits in the near future. As we hear the hooter sound, I think Te Tai Tokerau will get one more touch. I'm sure they'll be happy to take the touch here and close the game out. And koe rā te mutunga mo te kēmu tuatoru. O te rā tuarua. Ka hoki mai mātou, a muri te kainui o te rā. Mauri ora.
Just find someone who does and help yourselves, really. Also, stay hydrated, folks. There's plenty of water stations around. Well, I know there's one. It's over by the club rooms finals field. Grab some water. Stay hydrated.